I want to tell you a story. When I was growing up, and I used to be in my little heydays, my game banging days, I had this homeboy. His real name was Albert Maxwell Chase. Everybody known him as Cornbread, though. Cornbread was this tall individual, slanky build, real muscular arms, had a real deep country-like accent. What's going on, sheepdog? What did the Gershon like, little homie? That's how he talked, you know. He had a swagger about himself like no other, man. And he was known for, jacking people or robbing people. See, Cornbread come from California. I think he came out here when he was 15 years old. And he had a California mentality, He was like that. He had that Wild Wild West mentality, And when he came out here, he just wreaked havoc. He was into everything, And he got with my homeboys and fell in love, with my neighborhood and started claiming Gershon, whatever. But he became a real reputable in my neighborhood. Now, what I'm about to tell you is because, the way he lived his life is the way he met his end. And I'm saying this for a specific reason, and I'll explain later, but Cornbread, he was known for taking people rims, which was, car rims, dailies or whatever. And it's like back in 86, 87, 88, 89. He went to prison for little short terms in between then. But that's what he was known for. And everybody that's seen Cornbread coming, they know if you was on Dayton's, get going, because he go get you. And he was one of those brazen gang members, the ones that walk up to you and shoot you type gang members. He wants you to see him type gang member. He wants you to know it was him. He was wild like that, And, he raised me. I was hanging out with him since I was 12 years old. And, he was like a big brother to me because the monster side of him that I knew exists, I really didn't see that. Because when the doors shut, he was Maxwell, And when I was out of pocket or if I was acting up in school, he was a fatherly figure that chastised me, and he taught me the importance of an education, even though I was gang banging. Imagine that, And even though I chose to play this game, and although he told me on many occasions he didn't approve of me going with him, holding guns and nothing like that, but if I was gonna get with this shit, I might as well see the real side of it. And so he educated me on two fronts. But it's one thing that I had to learn the hard way, and that was karma and consequences. See, Bread, even though he was a fatherly figure, he was a nurturer. I mean, he did everything a big brother could do, and he was everything a little brother would want in a big brother. But at the same time, he had flaws, and one of them was he was a womanizer. Bread used, who he was in these streets, the fear that people have from him, the respect that his name carried. He used that, to get what he wanted. And when he came to women, his name alone spoke for itself. But he used those women. He really didn't care about them. And I'm not, he's not here to defend himself, but I'm not kicking dirt on my homie because I love him. But at the same time, I have to, recognize, fate for what it is. And he met his fate. Bread, all the things he was doing, he eventually caught it up with him. The bully tactics. He was shot like multiple times in his stomach and in his hip. And he was crippled, so he walked with a cane. He couldn't get around like he used to, but he still was big Bread. He still had the respect. He just was a little slower and crippled, but that was Cornbread. He still was a G. Well, on this one particular night, he was on the phone and in Big Carry Arms. And Carry Arms is a neighborhood that, my homeboys now inhabited when it was up that the Rolling 60s used to have, but that's neither here nor there. That's another story. But he was upstairs on the phone, and his female knocked on the door. I ain't gonna say her name because she's not worthy of even mentioning. But she knocked on the door and asked for him to come outside. Well, he looked out and seen her down there and was like, "Give me 5 minutes." I don't know who he was on the phone with. But, it took him time to get downstairs because he was crippled. But when he went downstairs and he opened the door or whatever, she was standing not on the porch, but in the grass area. So he would have to step off the porch into the grass area to where she was. And when he did that, somebody was around the corner watching. So when he stepped off the porch and into the grass area to where she was, that person came from around the corner. And she knew who it was because she screamed, but by then it was too late. Before my homeboy could react to anything, he shot, I guess, in the chest, and as he fell forward, he got hit in the top of his head and fell back, and I guess other stuff happened. What I'm trying to say is that the same women are the same females that he preyed upon became the predator and he became the prey. And his life, he lived it so fast, so vicious, so bloody, he died the same way. But the moral of the story is, when you have a female, you cherish what you got and you treat her with all the dignity and love she deserves, because you can also end up like my homie Bread, set up by a female and then left dead alone. So be careful who you say I love you to, because sometimes when you do that, other people really mean you mean it. And don't say it if you don't, because hell had no fury like a woman that's scorned. Tune in to next time.